There's something most men never think about. Every time you walk into a room, every time you stand next to her at a bar, sit across from her at a coffee shop, pass her in a hallway, she's reading you. Not listening, reading. Before you open your mouth, before you deliver that line you rehearsed in the car, before you even make eye contact, she's already forming an opinion. And here's what's wild. Most guys spend all their energy preparing what to say, but she decided how she felt about you before you said a single word. And that's what nobody talks about. You've been focused on the conversation, on the approach, on having something clever ready. But the real evaluation happened 60 seconds ago. She watched you walk in. She saw how you stood. She noticed where your eyes went. She felt something, or she didn't. And by the time you finally said, hey, the verdict was already in. You just didn't know there was a trial. So today, I'm breaking down the 7 things women silently judge about you before you ever open your mouth, and why most men never even think to fix them. Let's get into it. Number 1, how you move through space. This isn't about walking slow like you're in a movie. It's simpler than that. Women notice whether your body looks comfortable or whether it looks like it's apologizing for being there. Rushed, tight, jerky movements, shoulders hunched, hands stuffed in pockets, darting between spots like you're trying not to be seen, that tells her something. It tells her you're not settled, you're not at ease in your own skin. And if you're not comfortable with yourself, she's not going to feel comfortable around you. A man who moves with even a little bit of calm, not slow, not exaggerated, just unhurried, communicates something she can feel before she can name it. It says, I belong here, and that lands harder than any opener you could ever deliver. Number 2, where your eyes go. Quick one, but it matters more than you think. When you walk into a room, are your eyes scanning for approval, looking around to see who's watching, checking if she noticed you, darting toward every movement? Or are your eyes settled, calm, taking things in without chasing anything? Women catch this instantly. A guy whose eyes are everywhere is a guy whose attention is scattered, and scattered attention signals insecurity. A guy whose gaze is steady, who looks at things because he's genuinely interested and not because he needs validation, that's a completely different energy. You don't need to stare anyone down, you just need to stop looking around like you need the room to confirm you exist. Number 3, how you handle disruption. This is where it starts going deeper. Something happens, someone bumps into you, a drink spills, the plan changes last minute. There's a weird, awkward beat in the conversation. How you respond in that tiny moment tells her more about you than an hour of smooth talking ever could. Do you tense up, get visibly rattled, overreact, or do you just handle it? Maybe a small laugh, maybe a calm adjustment, maybe you keep the same energy like nothing happened. She's not watching the disruption, she's watching your face during it. She's watching your shoulders. She's watching whether the moment owns you or you own the moment. Because here's what she's really calculating. If a spilled drink throws you off, how would you handle something that actually matters? Emotional steadiness isn't something you announce. It's something she witnesses in the small throwaway moments you didn't think anyone was paying attention to. And those moments carry more weight than you realize. Number 4, the gap between your energy and your words. This is the one that trips up smart guys the most. You can say all the right things. You can be funny, ask great questions, keep the conversation flowing. But if your energy doesn't match your words, she feels the disconnect and it unsettles her. I watched this happen once at a friend's birthday thing. A buddy of mine was talking to a girl, and honestly, on paper, he was doing everything right, asking about her, keeping things light, even got a couple real laughs out of her. But the whole time, his knee was bouncing under the table. His hand kept going to the back of his neck. His eyes kept flicking toward the door like he was planning an escape route. She smiled, she answered, she was polite, and then she ended the conversation within 10 minutes. When I asked her about it later, she said something that stuck with me. She said she seemed nice, but something felt off, like he was trying really hard to seem relaxed. That's the gap. Your mouth says, I'm confident. Your body says something else entirely, and she trusts the body every single time. This isn't about performing calm. You can't trick her with slow hand gestures and a deeper voice. It's about actually developing enough inner steadiness that the outside and inside carry the same signal. When those two things align, when what you're saying and what she's sensing are the same frequency, she doesn't just hear you, she believes you. And belief is where real attraction starts. Not interest, not curiosity, belief. That's the shift most guys never make because they keep upgrading the script instead of upgrading the source. Number 5, how much space you take up. Not physically, like spreading out to dominate a room. She sees through that immediately. That's try-hard energy dressed up as confidence. What I mean is this: do you shrink? Do you fold your arms in, pull your shoulders together, make yourself compact like you're trying to take up as little room as possible? Or do you stand like someone who has a right to be exactly where he is? This one's subtle, but women register it fast. A man who takes up his natural space, not invading hers, not puffing up for show, just existing at full size without apologizing for it, communicates a quiet self-acceptance that she can feel. You don't need to take over the room, you just need to stop making yourself smaller in it. Number 6, whether your smile is real. Women are almost unfairly good at spotting a fake smile. That social reflex you throw on when you're uncomfortable, mouth moves, eyes stay flat, she catches it. And it's not the nervousness she judges, it's the fakeness, because a fake smile is a tiny lie. And if you're lying about something as small as whether you're actually enjoying yourself, she starts wondering what else isn't genuine. But a real smile, even a quick one, even just a flash, tells her something powerful. It tells her you're not managing the moment, you're actually in it. You're experiencing instead of performing, and that authenticity pulls her in because it's genuinely rare. Most men she interacts with are managing something: their image, their nerves, their angle. The man who's just actually present, he doesn't even realize how much he stands out. He doesn't have to. Now, stay with me for this last one, because everything I just talked about, how you move, where your eyes land, how you handle chaos, whether your energy matches your words, the space you take up, the truth in your smile, all of it funnels into this final thing. And honestly, this is what she's really measuring underneath all of this. This is the line between the guy she thinks about later that night and the guy she's already forgotten by the time she gets to a car. Number 7, whether your presence has weight. This is the hardest one to explain because it's not a behavior, it's not a technique, it's not something you can rehearse in a mirror or read off a checklist. It's whether when you're standing there, she feels like you're actually there, present, anchored, not floating through the interaction like a ghost hoping something lands. Most guys show up to an interaction with a woman and their entire energy is pointed outward. Does she like me? Am I being interesting enough? Is this working? And that outward focus is exactly what hollows you out. She's not talking to you, she's talking to a surveillance system that's monitoring her reactions instead of actually being in the conversation. You're there, but you're not there, and she can feel the emptiness of that, even if she can't put words to it. Here's what shifts everything. You're not there to impress her, you're there to observe, to actually see who she is, not strategically, not as a tactic, but out of genuine curiosity, to let the moment breathe without needing to control where it goes. When a man shows up like that, rooted in himself, paying attention instead of performing, his presence has weight. She feels it. It's the difference between a man who's in the room and a man who's just standing in it. And that weight isn't confidence, it's not charisma, it's something underneath both of those things. It's a man who has a relationship with himself, a man whose sense of worth doesn't shift based on her reaction, a man who's so settled in who he is that the interaction becomes easy, not because he's smooth, because he's real. That's the thing she's reading before you ever say a word. Not your outfit, not your height, not your jawline. She's reading your weight, your presence, whether you're real or whether you're performing a version of real. And she knows the difference before you even get the chance to introduce yourself. So which one of these hit you? Which one made you think, that's what I've been doing? Drop it in the comments. I want to know. And here's what I want you to try. Pick one of these 7, just one, and pay attention to it for the next week. Not all of them, you'll overwhelm yourself. Just one. Notice it in yourself. Adjust it. See what shifts around you. Now look, everything I covered today was about what happens before the conversation starts, the silent read, the first impression she forms before a word is spoken.
But there's a whole other layer that kicks in the moment you actually start talking, the real-time tests she runs on you mid-conversation that you don't even realize are happening. And how you respond to those tests, that determines everything that comes after. That's what I'm breaking down next. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear that one. Stay locked in.